What's up, everybody? Hello, 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 friends. Okay, what's up, brother? Hello! I'm not deafened. You're deafened, bruh. How the fuck's everyone doing? Boop. Boop. So Bungie's making a lot of changes here. We're gonna talk about them. No, they were not. I mean, okay. To be clear, the phrase "cook it" is not necessarily a descriptor of quality. For instance, the meme "Who let them cook?" See what I mean? That's like a negative thing. There's a fucking sun right there. Look, what the fuck? Hello? I'm trying to do a thing here, bro. The fuck? But I do think the overwhelming majority of these changes are very good. Do not get me wrong. We're gonna talk about them. I just want to say, I don't really care about the Empyrean changes. Whatever. Who plays Titan anyways? Like nerds. Who plays Titan? And then who especially doesn't play Strand Titan if you're playing Titan? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Swap's fucking giant. We're gonna talk about it. First off, Bungie sent me like a fuck ton of silver. Okay. So I have to disclose that I think they sent me like 8,000 or something. So I'm gonna do a video here soon. I want to do a video ranking the collaboration armors. So we're gonna do that here soon. But I just have to disclose, like, Bungie does not tell me what to buy or even to buy anything. They just say, if you make content with it, you have to disclose it. So I just wanted to say that. The fuck is that? I like the thing here. Okay, and this is another thing. I know like nothing about Mass Effect, okay? I'm gonna get this. I know like nothing about Mass Effect. I do know that Titan Gauntlet looks sick as fuck. Did you see what I posted in day one chat? Can I read this out loud? Oh my fucking god. Oh, Cataphract should have more total. Wait, am I allowed to read? Is this secrets, Wobby? Cataphract should have more total damage than Wolfpack Apex now. Who asks, does that mean my Spike demo bait and switch is good? Look, man. A lot of people like Demolition. I'm not one of those people. I apologize. I just don't use Demolition a lot. Wobby says you would want to release auto loading. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're gonna get to this, but grenade launchers. I've been saying it for so long, guys. So many people in chat didn't believe me. Balance in Destiny is a cycle, okay? Rockets have had their time to shine. Swords have had their time to shine. Linear fusion rifles have had their time to shine. It's fucking time for grenade launchers. I've been saying it for so long. Bungie's finally buffing grenade launchers. And they're gonna be very powerful. I mean, they're already very powerful. They're gonna be even more powerful. These are cool. It's actually getting paid by Bungie. They send me silver, okay? I have only received money from Bungie one time. A single time. They sent me money to use the very first time I was in a Bungie trailer, they sent me money to use me in the trailer. The OMG, they're so cute, or whatever, the small one clip. And And then every other time they've used me in a trailer, they haven't paid me. Which is like, fine, I'm not gonna say, no, don't use me in a trailer. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, you set the expectation that you're gonna pay me, you know? No, I'm totally kidding. But that's the only time I've ever had any sort of monetary interaction with Bungie, other than me like buying everything. So, what'd you miss besides the lab grown meat, dude? That was a good discussion today on Twitter. I was, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you should. I'm much more sciencey on Twitter, and I was doing like a breakdown and discussion about like lab grown meat and why I'm so excited about it. Personally, I think it's really cool. And so that was a lot of fun. I'm not a huge fan of this set. I think this helmet, if this shades really well, that's cool. I think this has a lot of promise. Oh yeah, because it's like a deep one. I think that's cool. So, the Titan one now is what I consider to be the coolest. We're gonna start breaking down the TWAB here any second now. I want to check out. I have not logged on Destiny yet this week, so I need to do my wishes. What's the wish this week? Is it something annoying? Well, I know people don't like this drip, but I think I fucking cooked with my Titan drip. That's all I'm saying. I know I've got a very different fashion sense than a lot of people, but I think I cooked. Yeah, okay. These gauntlets are awesome. Literally just because of this thing? Does that shade? Oh, okay. I'm about to do this for science, so you guys don't have to. I have to disclose Bungie sent me the silver. Let's go. Please tell me this shades. What the fuck is this? Oh. You want to eat lab-grown meat? Yeah, of fucking course I do. Anyone who doesn't is, like, just doesn't know what they're talking about, right? It is such a moral failure the way that, especially in more populated countries, how we treat livestock. And it leads to there's so many sickness outbreaks every year of like E. coli and parasites and shit just because of how we treat animals. Livestock accounts for 15 to 20% of all methane and CO2 emission, or sorry, CO2 emissions. They have an insane amount of methane emissions as well. Like, yeah, of fucking course. Is bait and switch to the go-to damage perk? I think it will be. We'll have to look at some damage charts. I think it'll still be. Where the fuck is this thing? Did I not just open this? Is it gonna be all the way at the end? Am I stupid? I must just be missing it, dog. Oh, here it is. No, wait. Is this it? I have no fucking. There it is. Holy. Wait, where's my thing? What? Am I getting scammed? What the fuck? Where's my gauntlet thing? Oh, it's literally just not there with that shader? What the fuck? What shader is that? Wait, I'm so confused. What fucking shader was that? I picked the one shader that it disappears on. What are the odds? What are the odds? That's crazy. Oh, it's not on that one either. What? Oh. That's so sick. That is so fucking sick, dude. Let's go. Someone said check out the mark. Is the mark cool? Let's fucking go. Why is there not a search function? Every time I buy anything, I'm just like, I immediately regret it because there's not a fucking search function. Oh, let's go! Fuck! That's sick. I need like a black shade. Well, can I just put that on every? Okay, I'm not a big fan of a helmet. I love glowy things. Oh my god, that is like offensively bright. What the? Why is that so much brighter than that? That's crazy. I bet if I put Gambit Jadestone on this shit, I bet I'm about to regret my entire existence. You guys ready? Oh, it hurts. Oh, that's crazy. Oh man. Is it a YouTube thing that you have to make your titles video-like, or you just don't like putting random words inside jokes like Twitch guys do? Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I mean, they're kind of jokes. I literally put like a fucking Travis Kelce, is that right? Meme in the thumbnail and the title of the last stream. Like, I have fun with it, but you know. That's sick. That's sick. Okay. Want a 1v1? No. I don't want to embarrass you. Okay, twop time, baby! That's the Nerf Jadestone? Yeah. It's a pretty cool set. Oh, where's my spider gear? Let's go, Spider Titan. Bro, you're not outside my house. You walk through an airport going, Flubber! Flubber honking, you'd be talking fucking Dutch. And you'd have to like fly through it like Atlanta airport or something. There's no way they'd let you through, bro. They'd be like, this guy's smuggling drugs or something for sure. Oh, god damn. Oh, god fucking damn it. Okay. I need to know. I sent Lab a fucking. So for those of you who don't know, Lab is he's from the Netherlands, and I send him memes about his is that your native language, Lab? Or did you learn English first? But I send him memes about Dutch all the time. And I ask him if it's correct. Dutch is your first language? Okay. I want to find that one. And he was like, unfortunately, yes. Here's the fucking Nukin and the Kukin. And he said that's correct. Oh my god. That makes me so happy. Nukin and the Kukin. Oh, fucking hell. It makes me happy. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm having a good time. Alright, assuming direct control, you can fight like a Krogan, run like a leopard, but you'll never be better than Titans cosplaying as Commander Shepard and awkwardly dancing in the middle tower. I don't know what any of this means. I'm not even gonna read it, but I'm gonna watch this because I don't think I have yet. I think these sets look really cool. I'm not very fond of the Hunter one. I feel like the only unique thing about the hunter ones is the mask. Everything else is like, yep, that's a hunter suit. Which I guess is like maybe accurate to the source material, but that doesn't make it interesting, you know what I mean? The Titan one's, it's got so many flashy bits, it kind of cooks. I'm also really confused because when I looked at that finisher, by the way, it didn't have that red. Unless I just like, am I dumb? This finisher, like it even shows it here. Oh no, it did have it. Oh my God, it's so fast. Okay, never mind. Probably the week, if I had to guess. I don't know for sure. Yes, Nicholas, that one's pretty funny. But yeah, man. So pretty cool stuff. Did I literally close the TWAB? That's like an average Scarrow moment right there, honestly. Okay. We back TWABing. To celebrate this collab, we want to see your strongest builds inspired by Shepard, Garrus, and Liara. Maybe you like charging with a shotgun and punching everything in sight? Can't say that's wrong. Or staying behind and shooting from a vantage point with long-range weapons. If you prefer to go nuts with your abilities, that's fine too. Show us using the Normandy Crew hashtag and we'll reward our favorite ones with a very special emblem. That's the cat one. Pretty cool one, man. Pretty cool. Let's talk about the SANDBOX updates. Now, let me tell you guys, this is a long TWAB, and there's a lot of changes. And I'm excited, because it's been a while. A little bit, and you know, I think we need some shakeups, and specifically in Crucible, I think we need some pretty big shakeups. So, I read through this, but we're gonna break it down a lot. I'm not gonna read all that. Threaded Spectre is currently overperforming in high-level PvP activities, particularly in trials. We believe that there are two core issues that drive this overperformance. So let's talk about each separately. First, uptime on Threaded Spectre is significantly higher than we think is healthy, particularly on the fast cooldown with the Hunter's Dodge combined with the 2 Threadling Grenade charges granted by Widow Silk. Threaded Spectre is the clone, right? Am I making that up? I believe Threaded Spectre is the clone. Yo, Orange Cat, how you doing, brother? Still no change to Forbearance. How has Forbearance not been fucking nerfed? If I ever have the opportunity to talk to Mercules or Chris Proctor or anyone on the SANDBOX team, I'm gonna look at them, or I'm gonna look at them virtually, right in the face, or in reality. I'm gonna say, hey Chris, hey Mercules, love what you do. Big fan of a lot of your favorite weapons. I love Forbearance. Do you actually consider Forbearance to be balanced, or is it like, is it broken on purpose? Because it's been 2 years. You know what I mean? It's been 2 years, never been touched. In fact, it's only gotten better because they fixed it like how it goes upstairs and stuff. And it's just like, is this, like, you guys are okay with this? Really? That's just a question I would ask, personally. Oh yeah, sorry, I wanted to check. I think that's the, I wanted to make sure though. Threaded Spectre. Oh, I don't have it unlocked yet. Actually, yes, it is. Okay. I was really confused there for a second. Okay. With this update, we're implementing a change that applies the same class ability regen penalty that Ensnaring Slam uses when the player creates a Threaded Spectre. Let's go. And I will say, Threaded Spectre is definitely something I find very annoying, just because it's so easy to use. You know, there's no, if someone's running at you, bam, you dodge away. There's not really any trade-off because you get your class ability back so fast. It's almost a guaranteed kill. If you know, most of your Threadlings hit, they're one-tapped. If they're running at you, you've probably already put a bullet into them anyways. Like, it just felt too free for too long. And I'm glad they're, well, I say for too long, it hasn't been for too long. Like, I feel like this is actually a relatively fast change on the Destiny scale. Thought this guy was Forbearance's #1 fan. I am. But I'm a fan of Destiny first and Forbearance second. And I genuinely think that Forbearance is unhealthy for Destiny. I think that Forbearance being as powerful as it is only makes Destiny more boring, in my opinion. We don't want this change to have a significant impact on Threaded Spectre's performance in PvE. Who the hell is using Threaded Spectre in PvE? So we're reducing the duration of that regeneration penalty by 50% while in PvE. In addition, we're increasing Threaded Spectre's detonation damage against PvE combats by 25%, with the goal that while you may be able to create fewer Shadow clones, each one will be more impactful. That makes sense. Ensnaring Slam, reduced class ability regeneration during 50%. So they're really bringing Ensnaring Slam in and Threaded Spectre kind of into, they're balanced very similarly, which makes sense. Although I still think in PvE, Ensnaring Slam is way more powerful. And I'd say Threaded Spectre is probably more powerful in PvP, but it's a cool balance. I can't remember the last time I used Forbearance. It became boring. I mean, it is genuinely boring. I agree. It's a beautiful weapon. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing things explode. I think it is unhealthy for the game. Okay. The other half of Threaded Spectre's PvP potency comes from the Threadlings themselves. Thank God. They are finally nerfing Threadlings. Someone's been making Threadling ability videos. They're no longer my friend. I don't know if it's Aztecross or what. I dislike them now because anytime I play Trials or Comp, it's like the beginning of the first round is always Threadling grenade, blah, 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 blah. They're just vomiting Threadlings, and it is so annoying. Like Axiom Bolt projectiles before, we believe that Threadlings are currently too difficult to clear off the battlefield. To address this, we're implementing a change to make them easier to shoot and reduce instances where it feels like your bullet went straight through a Threadling without it detonating. In addition to their potency as a distraction tool, Threadlings deal enough chip damage to players to significantly change the outcome of an engagement. And if it's at the beginning of a round, they'll just fucking kill you. If you get hit by 2 Threadling grenades, you're done. It's crazy. So we slightly reduced their damage versus players, and finally we've identified a bug where groups of Threadlings were not chain detonating as intended when one is destroyed, which is being fixed. Threadlings increased aim assist shape size. I never know what this means. Where so a lot of, if you're new to the channel or if you forgot, anytime they talk about aim assist cones or shit, I skip over that. I have no frame of reference for that. I have no idea. Like, I won't be able to tell you what that means or until I like play with it and I feel. So I'm skipping that. Reduce base damage versus enemy players from 40 to 35. That's not a huge change. Fixed an issue where groups of Threadlings were not reliably chain detonating. See, I didn't know Threadlings were supposed to do that. I thought you had to shoot all of them. It turns out when you shoot one Threadling, it's supposed to blow them all up, which is interesting, but I had no idea that was a thing. Fixed an issue where Threadlings sometimes did not play their non-damaging destruction performance when destroyed by an enemy, resulting in them... Oh, did they just... Okay, that's an animation. Flashbang on a solar subclass with the mark in the shader. What? Oh, the armor? Yeah. We realize that these changes are not localized to Threadrunner and will also affect Broodweaver potency in Crucible. To compensate for this, we're pulling some other buffs forward we originally planned to ship with the final shape. I love that they're not afraid to do that, too. I feel like in the past, the SANDBOX was always, they were so, maybe for better, but they were so afraid to pull changes up and make things fast. And I feel like nowadays they're much more likely to make fast changes, which I appreciate. They're pulling up the changes to keep the power of the overall kit roughly the same place. With update 7.3.5, we'll be increasing Arcane Needle's aim assist and tracking strength, making it significantly more consistent. Okay. They're increasing the aim assist Arcane Needle. Is that that's the Hunter Meilee ability? No. What is Arcane Needle? Was that this? No. Arcane, or is that the Warlock super? The fuck is that? Yeah, it is the Warlock melee. Okay, okay. Too many names. So as more aim assist fall off distance has been increased. So it means it is more effective at longer ranges. Increased tracking angle, it's just better. Restoration and Radiant updates. These are really interesting because Restoration is incredibly powerful. I think it actually got a little more powerful. But it's also been bugged, which they're fixing. So this update will also bring an update to Restoration and Radiant keyword buffs, which currently have a number of buggy interactions with timer extensions, most notably the Ember of Empyrean Fragment in combination with Ember of Mercy. We've rebuilt a significant portion of these keyword buffs to store their timer data more safely. Restoration and Radiant fixed an issue where the maximum duration of Restoration and Radiant buffs was being incorrectly stored, resulting in their buff timers resetting. So this was getting a lot of people killed during like solo challenges and like solo dungeons and stuff. So it's cool that that's finally being fixed. This also resolves a similar issue with shorter restoration sources like sunspots. Alongside these changes, we'll be adjusting both Ember of the Empyrean and Ember of Mercy fragments. Left unchanged with the dramatically increased consistency resulting from the bug fix, these two fragments, particularly when paired together, would vastly exceed our power bar. We believe that even with these changes, the experience of using each of these fragments should be equivalent or better than the experience in the game right now. Ember of Mercy now extends your current restoration duration by 2 seconds when a fire sprite is collected. If you don't already have Restoration active, collecting a fire sprite grants Restoration. Oh, wait, what does that do right now? Do I use this currently? Let's read what it currently does. I totally forgot that firepower was changed until you just said that. Yeah, I don't know if they're ever going to change it, man. So do I use Mercy? So I don't use Mercy currently. When you revive an ally, you and nearby allies gain Restoration. Picking up a fire sprite grants Restoration. Why is that different? How is this different? Oh, so now it's compounding. Every time you pick up a fire sprite, your Restoration gets increased by 2. That's cool. The Restoration extension is increased to 3 seconds when Ember of Solace is equipped. Ember of Empyrean, which is pretty much the big one that everyone uses, I believe. I think that's the one where your solar... solar weapon or ability final blows extend the duration of Restoration or Radiant. Restoration can go up to 12 seconds currently, and I believe they're buffing that. Increase the maximum duration from 12 to 15 seconds. That's crazy. Rework the duration extension granted. This is where it's kind of a nerf. Previously, it always granted a 4-second duration extension, depending, or regardless, if you just killed the Scion, you got 4 more seconds. Now they're changing it, so it's depending on the type of enemy you kill. So if you kill an elite or weaker combatant, you will get less time. Defeating a champion or stronger will result in a greater time. So you can stack more, but you have to be way more consistent with your kills. Until I see what that is, it'll be kind of hard to give an opinion on it. But I think most places where Ember of Empyrean is used, it's usually with a lot of ad density. It'll probably be all right, I imagine. So we'll see. We'll see. Solar ability buffs. We'll just move on. For our Sunbreakers, we're improving the consistency of Consecration, making it able to catch floating targets or enemies that jump too late. We're also increasing the travel distance of both Scourge Wave and Ignition Wave to further increasing the Ignition Wave's travel speed. Yo, Galleon, what's up? I've been grinding Hell Divers 2 like crazy this week. It's got a chokehold on me. I've seen a lot of people really liking it, man. I haven't really seen much about it, but I'm glad people are enjoying it so much. So Consecration increased the travel distance of the initial ground follow. So a projectile that travels along the surface, so that's like the thing. It just gets 6 more feet, 20 more meters, or 2 more meters. Increase the height of the slam by about 1 meter. Increase the travel distance about 4 meters. Wait, now I'm interested. Okay, so it's like boom, boom, yeah. Increase the travel speed of the slam, so now it goes faster. So both of them go further and faster. This is kind of interesting, because I don't really see a lot of people using Consecration. So I'm interested if this affects anything personally. Gunpowder Gamble reduces the maximum self damage from 144 to 80. I don't think this should hurt you at all personally, but that's just me. Weapon changes. These are even bigger, in my opinion. I think if we want to recap these are all really good changes. I'm glad that Redlings are being reined in a little bit. I think they've been very oppressive in PvP, and I'm excited, but cautiously optimistic to see the new restoration changes here. Hopefully it feels about the same. We'll see. Weapons SANDBOX. Weapon archetypes. When we created the new heavy burst hand cannon subfamily for Warden's Law, we inadvertently included some content that made them harder to control while playing with a mouse and keyboard. So they fixed that on mouse and keyboard. So that's exciting for people who like Warden's Law, I guess. Bows are probably my #1 pain point in Crucible right now are bows. They are way too good. The first shot of a bow is like no risk for all the reward. Maybe the follow-up puts you in danger and stuff, but if you're team shotting at all, or you're just trying to keep someone off of an objective, or if you're just laning or something like that, in my opinion, bows are way too easy to use and way too powerful, and they have been for a long time. So I'm glad they're finally being looked at. Andre says, Strand Hunters can go back to grapple builds while Warlocks don't even have a leg to stand on without Threadlinks in PvP. A good change. I don't necessarily agree with that. Also, they didn't, like, they just made them easier to shoot. Like, they didn't neuter them, right? But they need to be counterable. And still, if you send out Threadlinks, that's still a distraction. They still have to take the time to shoot them. So I think that's a good balance pass, personally. What are you laughing at, lad? No, I think that's genuinely like a good change. I think that's a balance change. We'll have to see how it plays out, personally. Oh, inside joke, fair enough. Oh, is that a copy pasta? Did I just get copy pasted? No. Anyways, bows reduce the auto aim fall off distance start and end by 15 seconds. Or 15%, excuse me. Aim assist will be less effective at long range, and then reduce the maximum auto aim cone by 5. So I don't know. I don't think this is going to change much of anything. I'm really quite sick of bows personally, but I would like to see them nerfed a bit harder. But we'll see how that feels in the game. I didn't know this was a thing. I don't know if anyone knew this is a thing. Breakneck didn't have target lock, and it was supposed to, so they gave it target lock, and you'll have to go farm for that again. Lightweight scouts have always had a following, but they suffered from being unforgiving when missing crits. So because of that, they're increasing the base damage by 5%. I don't mind the easier to shoot part, but the damage is reduced by 5. It's really not that big of a deal. Fine with the overall damage increase makes all setups Broodweaver obsolete. I don't think so, man. I think it'll be fine. Look, if you're at a point where you need your brood, like, in my opinion, there are very few abilities in the game that should be like a guaranteed kill. Threadlings are essentially a guaranteed kill. Whether it's on Hunter with the dodge and then a grenade, or if it's on Warlock with the rift and then a grenade. Like, there are a lot of combinations to get pretty much a guaranteed kill with Threadlings in Crucible, and I don't think that should ever be the case. Especially when they are presented as an option that is able to be countered, but you couldn't effectively counter them. But it's only 5 damage per Threadling. That's really not that big of a deal. They are increasing health. We'll talk about that here in a second, but I don't know how I feel about that change. I'm going to need a lot of your guys' input on the health changes coming up, because I am so... it's so hard to wrap my mind around. Sniper rifles, the auto-aim cone size reduced by 10%, make them less oppressive. This is really interesting. Rockets, some of the best DPS weapons in the game. It's become more set up than Bungie would like, with adaptive and aggressive subfamilies outperforming the rest. They literally did that to themselves when they changed the damage multipliers for all of them. We're making changes to precision and high-impact subfamilies that give them more reserve ammos than the other, as well as making other adjustments to give them some unique strengths. So precision rocket launchers, remember these are the ones that have tracking already built in. The reserve ammo is increased by 2, and instead of doing 10% less damage, they only do 5% less damage. So that'll be kind of interesting. Is Galley precision? I think Galley is precision. That's gonna be kind of crazy. If Galley gets 2 more shots, doesn't say what it is. I saw that it said that the above changes also affect, but it doesn't. Oh, they're both affected by 2. Sorry, I didn't know which one. Yeah. So Galley right now gets what, 7 reserve? So it'll be bumped up to 9. Is that right? 7 with a reserve. Galley gets 7. I think. So that's kind of crazy. Still less total damage than the special weapon. It's good that it'll stack though, right? Like the whole thing about Galley is not the raw damage that it puts out. That's just a bonus. So you can get 10 in Galley right now? What the fuck? Are you sure? What? I don't think I've ever seen 10 in my Galley. What the fuck? God, I'm playing this game wrong. Holy. High impact also increased the reserves by 2. Now deals more detonation damage and less impact for roughly the same damage. This makes it more effective versus groups. That's like literally the worst part of rockets. Is you want... This is bad. So. 19. No, 12. But still, that's sick. I think that's a cool change. A lot of people like Gallowhorn. A lot of people like rockets. And at least right now, GLs are less approachable, right? GLs, the good ones you have to kind of farm for. Apex, literally given to you for free if you do a couple of things. And Gallowhorn's handed to you as well. So a much easier option. I think people are going to like that. I don't know if Galley needs. We've touched heavy grenade launchers a few times, and while they're fairly strong mathematically, it hasn't moved the needle. It's time to make some more substantial changes. We're pushing them into more sustained damage and ad clear, and we're tweaking spike grenades to make them less of a dominant pick. Both very interesting picks. So heavy grenade launchers increase reserve ammo by a minimum of 6 rounds and a maximum of 10 rounds, depending on the grenade launcher. Spike damages, grenades impact damage is reduced from 50 to 12.5%, meaning that it's about a 3% buff instead of an 8% buff. So still a little better, but, you know, much more negligible. Increased direct impact damage by 10%, combined with the above changes, brings non-spike grenade launchers up to almost the level of spike grenade launchers and very slightly reduces damage output with a spike grenade launcher. Increase damage, detonation damage by 5%. So, I mean, grenade launchers are just getting better. And it's pretty crazy if you consider the fact that for most solo challenges that I'm aware of that don't use Strand Titan, GLs were like already the play. They are making changes to Envious Assassin, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So that will negatively affect it. And they're actually making changes to bait and switch. But there's plenty of other combinations and there's going to be other things to look at on GLs. I'm excited for this change. I have been saying for way too long that GLs deserve another... Because GLs haven't really been the meta since, like, Penumbra, right? So I'm excited to get some of that back. Their DPS about 2% lower than before. Okay. I want to see Anarchy's Reserve. Ooh. I think a lot of Anarchy's problem is like a damage thing. But like, I think we could get to a point where, you know, like an Anarchy Supremacy combo or something like that. Or the new double GL that's coming. Something like that. I think that could be really strong. I remember when Storm of the Raven was the weapon. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to see it back in the spotlight. I think the part of the sandbox, like the weapon sandbox, that I think gets the most stagnant is like your heavy weapon slot. In PvE specifically, like it's like, okay, I get it. I can only damage so many bosses with swords before I'm bored. I can only use a linear fusion rifle for everything so much before I'm bored, right? So I like having a pretty constant rotation in that slot. I think this is a great change. Grenade launchers needed ammo reserve buff so bad for a long time. Yeah, and I think it's good that they made the Envious change, because if they just made this change but they left Envious Assassin alone, I think they would be like, you're approaching borderline broken at that point, I think. So I think this is good. I'm excited. I have to see this in game, of course, and you know, they make all these changes, and a lot of these changes are in preparation for weapons that are coming in the future. I would be shocked if we don't, at some point in the final shape campaign or post-campaign, get a craftable GL that has bait and switch on it. Or Envious, or just like whatever the predominant damage and reload perks are. I would be so shocked if we don't get one, because GLs are some of the hardest weapons to get in terms of like getting the best one right now. Like Region's fine, but like the best of the best, it's one of the only archetypes I can think of where the best of the best is not a craftable, which is nice, but Bungie hates that. So we'll see. Heavy waveframe grenade launchers have struggled to find an identity. We're at a point in Destiny where if you're using your heavy weapon to add clear in 99% of activities, it's a waste of everything. Forbearance does it just fine. Your abilities do it just fine. There are very, very, very few situations where I'm like, oh, I need a heavy weapon for add clear. And so a weapon like this that is designed in your heavy weapon slot for add clear, I think it's just a throwaway weapon. I've thought that for a pretty long time. It's the reason I think machine guns don't get that much play, and the only time machine guns do get play nowadays are when it's like like a master raid and you're forced to use something, or there's a buff that you have to use, whatever, or where it's like a non-boss encounter, or when it's something like Thunderlord that does pretty good single target DPS. So last night, my job fired me. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. And now wants me to give them my computer I used for work when I bought it. Is this legal? If you bought it and they did not refund you for that, I don't think that's legal. But if you used it for work, they might just want to wipe the hard drives or check it to make sure you're not stealing data. Heavy for add clear, use G-Horn. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too. Like, a lot of existing heavy weapons just kind of do it on the side. But, I mean, add clear is like the least of anybody's worries right now. So, but heavy wave frame GL, increase the damage by 20%, increase the wave width by 40%. I still don't think anyone's going to use these, but I'm interested to see if they get a niche. We'll see. Caster swords are the only swords that have a ranged attack, and the trade-off for maintaining distance was damage. The reduction was more extreme than the B, so we brought up the heavy attack damage to approach other swords. I'm telling you right now, if you want people to use caster swords, give a caster sword eager edge. You're fucking welcome, Bungie. No one's gonna use caster swords. No one likes using swords that aren't lament or that are not a caster sword, except the freaks that like bequests, and they're just wrong. Just kidding, bequest nerds, calm down. You're fine. You're fine. I'm in cyber. Companies have employee signed agreements. If there's company-related software, they're legally allowed to wipe or even confiscate, depending on the agreements. Yeah, that sort of thing makes sense. Like, even I work for a chemical company. They provide PCs or laptops, but I do know there are chemical companies that I had a friend that works for like Purdue, and they like monitor the shit out of everything. Like, you are not stealing stuff from us, so I would just like triple check everything last night, make sure everything's on the up and up. So solar eager edge, yeah, exactly, a solar eager edge caster sword, you're fucking welcome. Vigilance wing is strong in PvP, but it's fairly hard to control with how much that 5-round burst kicks, so now adds a deterministic recoil pattern. Vix Mythoclass fires like a high impact auto rifle. Other high impact auto rifles have a larger aim down sight damage fall or scale off. Sure. Wish Ender, big pain in my ass. Being nerfed a little bit, where you will only be able to see through walls with true sight for 3 seconds, and then you'll have to completely redraw it. Interesting. We'll see if that makes that much of a difference. I still think Wish Ender is incredibly powerful. I would like to see the range on Wish Ender decrease. Just fucking throwing water at myself. I'd like to see the range on Wish Ender decreased, personally, in terms of like how far you're able to see through walls, but we'll see. Edge of Action is the bubble glaive. It's the bubble that it makes increases damage resistance in PvE against all combatants except for bosses to 85%. Bosses are still only 15. Manticore. I don't know a single fucking person that uses Manticore. Players must now be airborne for half a second and deal damage with the weapon to activate the perk. We gave it a special reload to quickly disengage anti-gravity thrusters. That's interesting because they say airball also, so like I guess they're gonna have a cool reload animation. I wish they would have shown it. While anti-grav thrusters are engaged, combatants will be less accurate when targeting the player. That's interesting. No way that there's no way that works in PvP, right? With the catalyst, final blows and sustain damage with Manticore while airborne, granted void over shield and return ammo to the magazine. I just don't think anyone's gonna use it. Anti-snore? Yeah. Yeah. Exdreris, really cool weapon. Just don't think it brought it too much. Increase the impact damage against PvE damage enemies by 50%. Increase the maximum rate of fire by 17%. I really want this weapon to be good. I think it's got a really cool power fantasy. Like, it's just stupid and fun. I wish it was a little better, and maybe it will be after this. Heal Clip now grants 2 times to you if you use it, and 1 time to everyone else. Trench Barrel can now be activated with a ranged melee attack. I cannot believe it took them fucking holy shit. 5 years to do this? 4 years to do this? That's crazy. Barrel Constrictor, once activated, no longer deactivates upon firing a shot. It lasts for 7.5 seconds. Very interesting. Loose Change, I have literally no idea what Loose Change does. Applying a subclass 3.0 debuff now grants 20% aim assist, or plus 20 aim assist and 20% reduced ADS movement speed penalty, in addition to the existing plus 50 real stat. I don't know what that means. It just makes you move faster, I guess. We need a future craftable weapons swap next. I think they said next week was Trials of Osiris changes and stuff. We'll get there. Dual Loader, remove the reload speed penalty. Change the wording of the perk to make it clear that increases the number of shots reloaded, so we can now apply to other types of weapons. Since we're shipping a couple Tex Mechanica legendary weapons in a couple of weeks, we want to take another pass at the Tex Mechanica origin traits. Tex Balanced Stock now grants plus 20 range and 1.5 degree hipfire precision cone angle, making it easier to land follow-up crits with a hipfire. The new DMT Scout Rifle, probably going to be pretty gross. Kind of looking forward to it. I think it adds like a fun air when those type of weapons are powerful, so that's kind of cool. Hawkeye Breach, Armaments, Deconstruction, and Sundering all felt like they work against more targets that look like constructs or vehicles, or they should work. So now they also work against Void Souls, Strand Clones, Cabal Projection Shields, that's an interesting one, and Brigs. That's cool. Brigs are a pain in the ass because for the first half of their health, there's no crit. And so now it might be worth, with the buffs, it might be worth taking Palmyra into some like GMs. Like there's the Cosmodrome GM, there's the really annoying Brig that has infinite health. Could be interesting, with increased reserves, does more damage now. And that's a Hawkeye GL, so it also or a rocket launcher, so now it does more damage to Brigs. Something like that. Kind of interesting. So also if they ever bring Scourge of the Past back, work on the boss. Okay, Breach Armaments now has one specific edge case that increases complexity of the perk and is no longer needed, so we're reducing the number of different damage bonuses. Perk has damage versus stasis crystals reduced from 85 to 60 to match other constructs. As an origin trait, Sundering has a fairly high uptime in Warlord's Ruin because of the number of eye turrets. However, the perk themed around breaking stuff feels like it apply more broadly. And now trigger on shield break in addition to final blows on vehicles and constructs. We added a small reload speed scaler while reducing the charge rate benefit. It's cool. I like seeing obscure things just a little bit more relevant and powerful now. Hatchling is a fun perk, but weapons that can technically crit but are bad at it suffer from precision kills being the only activator on certain weapon types. Hatchling. Activation requirements no longer lock to the archetype in terms of precision or non-precision. As said, across the board, it's either 1 precision kill or 3 non-precision kill. I am still, I've said it the last couple of streams. I think that strand wave frame that we get very soon, I think it could be very interesting if it has hatchling on. Does this change to hatchling quietly confirm that the Iron Banner strand waveframe will have hatchling? I don't think so, because to my knowledge, waveframes can't crit, and this change was only because weapons that were not able to hit a critical already had a different version of hatchling that worked without a crit kill. I don't think waveframes can crit. If they can crit, then yes. If they cannot crit, then no. But I'm sure it's a strand weapon, man. Like every strand weapon in the game has had hatchling on it. I would be so shocked if it doesn't get hatchling and slice. Galleon, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, chain hatchling would be so much fun. I agree with that. Target lock is still a large part of the reason why SMG gun popularity has remained high, and Zimmer's target lock now activates later in the magazine for SMGs. That's kind of cool. Envious Assassin loop works well, but with certain weapon types, the payoff was far too great, and with the new GL buff, it would be crazy. So now each activation is capped at 100% magazine size instead of 150, so the maximum overflow is 3 times the magazine size instead of 4. So, pretty good. It's still going to be good. I think that is they're still going to be unbelievably powerful. But there were times where I was shooting like 15 or 16 shots. Is that right? I feel like it was up there. 15 shots with Cataphract, and that's just fucking crazy. So, yeah. Would Discord be OP on the waveframe? I don't even know what Discord does. Discord. Final blows with another weapon grant this weapon increase speed for aiming down sights, accuracy, and where airborne effectiveness. I assume it does something else. While Discord is active, final blows refund ammo. Ooh. Could be. Could be. That's interesting. I might kill rockets for Nez. Which rockets get envious? Yo, Biscuit, what's up? Guys, I need critical help. What are the best advanced GG focus flavors? I use Splitgate, Rocket Pop, and Strawberry Lemonade, but they're out. I believe my code's 15% right now, by the way. So make sure you use code SCARO9. Let me pull up what they got, and I will tell you what their best flavors are, in my opinion. By the way, we have some sick advanced stuff coming soon. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, so I'm not going to, but... Alright, what do we got here? The fuck? Destiny of the game? Okay. So they don't have a ton of flavors right now. This is Victoria's favorite flavor. Magic Rainbow Sherbet. I really like this one. The Cherry Limeade. I'd go with Cherry Limeade. Victoria would go with... Wait, is this really all they have? Do they have any, Is there energy? Focus is my favorite. Personally. Oh man, there you go. They're all in on energy right now. Yeah, okay, if that's really all the focus they have, let me make sure here. Oh, okay, this one, if you go to creator jars, Bifes is insane. The cherry ice is insane. Those are both focus. Yeah, okay, I would definitely get the pink lemonade. That's my favorite of all the offerings, but the cherry ice is also very good. The Rocket Pop flavor is, so I'd say my favorite flavor of all time is the strawberry lemonade, and the Rocket Pop's like right there. It's so good. But this pink lemonade, it fucking hits. I didn't know Bife had his own flavor. I've had the pink lemonade before. That's sick, dude. Good for him. Okay. Oh, sorry. This week in Destiny. Oh no. Where was I? Okay. I already read that. Bait and switch! Nerfed. The 30% from 35. I mean, it's really not that. Remember, all damage is multiplicative in Destiny, so that'll actually be a pretty big deal. Because usually when you use this, it's stacked with Radiance, which is 15%. It's usually stacked with Surges, which are 23%. What else is it stacked with? It's usually stacked with like a boss damage thing, which is like 7.5% or whatever. So it's gonna be more than you're gonna notice it a little bit more. 22, thank you. But still not bad. It's not too bad. They could. I feel like it honestly probably warrants being killed a lot more than that, but we'll take those. 10, 15, 22. What's the pink lemonade taste like? I mean, like a standard pink lemonade. It's hard to explain. It's similar to raspberry lemonade, but it's different. In America, we just have pink lemonade, so it's like it just tastes like that. It's hard to. It's really hard to put into. What does pink lemonade taste? Pink lemonade flavor description. You can't really nerf bait and switch more unless you change the timer. That would be interesting. Yeah, you just make it last less amount of time. It's just got like a little red flavor in it. Is Radiant 15? I think Radiant's 15, right? I think Radiant's 15 and all I think all Radiant effects are 15 and all nerfs are 15. No, you're fine, Sweeney. It's definitely an American thing, and I think it's like mostly like an Eastern Southern American thing. It's such a like we just make up these stupid flavors. Like we have blue raspberry. But there's no such thing as a fucking blue raspberry. You know what I mean? Raspberries aren't blue. What does that taste like? I don't fucking know. It's my favorite flavor though. Well, it's 25. Yeah. I think all Radiants are 15. Unless they changed it, but I think they're 15. Yeah. Yep. What is blue flavor? Blue flavor, out of every color, blue definitely has like a flavor. God, you show that picture to someone, they're like, yeah, that kid is high. But you know what I mean? Like, specifically when you're talking about like sweet foods, blue is a flavor, you know? What about titty milk? I won't talk about that. 1-2 punch now correctly deactivates after dealing damage with powered melee and deconstruct. Updated the perk description to correctly state that pulls ammo from reserves. Mods, bonus damage against mini bosses should have been part of boss spec, not major spec. We're updating these mods to correct that after years. I've heard people talk about that for so long. The future, we've pulled a lot of balance changes from the final shape and Destiny 2 into the light into update 7.3.5, but we still have a number of small but exciting changes shipping and into the light, touching content that many players haven't thought about in several years. A lot of people have started hypothesize that Into the Light is like bringing back old content or revitalizing, you know, either Garden or Beyond Light stuff. and maybe making like Beyond Light free or something. This is definitely a hint towards that, I think. Touching content that many players haven't thought about in several years. Interesting. Interesting. Radiant's 25. Is Radiant 25? But weekends are 15, right? I'm not making that up. They're talking about Gambit. God, I wish I haven't fucking thought about Gambit in several years. Big Forsaken and Shadow Keep free, dude. You're speaking my language right now. Yeah, weekends 15. Okay, fuck me. How you doing, garbage? Oh, that's rough, Cole. Let's go, Biscuit. Hopefully use code SCARO9, 15%. Same. In the final shape, we are rebalancing many weapon types in PvE, buffing underperforming weapons and leaving most high performers untouched. Since we're looking at PvE weapon tuning anyways over the course of the year of the final shape, we'll also be looking at weapon mods that feel mandatory. We intend to make some changes that will increase player choice, particularly PvE. This is really exciting. You know, there's been a lot of rhetoric that like, oh, Bungie's putting Destiny 2 on the back burner. And like, that doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. But the fact that the SANDBOX team is making kind of like such minuscule changes like that, and they're looking at that going forward into next year. I mean, that to me says that like, no, they want this shit to be perfect going forward. Like they still care. There's still going to be reasons to care. Which once again, we have every like business justification ever to believe that's the case. It's just cool to have some evidence of that personally. So the bait and switch nerf is only like 9% with Radiant Surges and Weaken, I guess. How are you arriving at that number? I tried doing Master Nightmare hunts for the Triumph and it's a fucking desert on LFG. Is it? Can you Fire Team Finder? Is boss spec multiplicative? All damages are multiplicative. Yeah, I agree, Crota. Okay, we're also making substantial changes to several of the least used exotics. We see a lot of requests for these. See if you can guess which exotics we touched. And adjusting some perks, including a long requested change to Chill Clip, making it more viable to use on slower firing weapons. You can also be looking forward to being able to enhance many more weapons. Interesting. Can we finally enhance every adept weapon? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Wait, I missed that last part. You said we'd be able to enhance in the last sentence. Does that mean craftable? I think it means adept. But we'll see. Oh, okay. Yes. If that comes out to 9%, lad, then yeah. PvP talk. This is... Okay, I need you guys for this one. Because I read these numbers. But I have no idea what's going on. Hey folks, the PvP Strike Team has a lot to talk about in the coming weeks. In this section, we're covering the changes to PvP specific tuning for weapon types, exotic weapons, abilities, and special ammo generation. Essentially, the new version of Checkmate, not the old Checkmate, the new version of Checkmate, which was kind of an in-between of current Crucible and an old Checkmate, that's becoming the new norm. It's kind of crazy. So goals. They want to help players more clearly understand the sequence of events that led to their death so they can more easily learn how to improve. Alter the weapon sandbox to account for the increased average skill of our player base by reducing the amount of high reward to low risk options. Encourage primary weapon mastery to be an aspirational pursuit for players. As we've increased the prevalence and strength of some sandbox elements, the ability to clearly understand what is happening from a target's perspective has suffered. Isn't that the fucking truth? Sometimes I'll just die and I'm like, okay. It is increasingly common to be defeated instantly or so quickly there's no time to react, and often so many different things are happening it's nearly impossible to determine the sequence of events that kills you. That is so true. Add a kill cam! Forbearance, Adept, and Enhanced would definitely get nerfed. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Holy shit. I want to enhance world drops, please and thank you. Oh, man. I don't even know how I feel. I don't know. If you could enhance things that weren't craftable, it would make craftable weapons like a little less relevant, which I think, look, you guys know, it might not be a popular opinion. I think crafting has done a shit ton of damage to this game. Like, I think there, once again, like I say this every time, I think there is a place for crafting in the game. I think that anything that you craft, you should be able to go do content with. It should be like a 7.5 out of 10. Like for your best of your best weapons, your 9 out of 10s, your 10 out of 10s, you should have to farm for them. You should have to play the content, and in my opinion, most, if not all of them, should be random drops. So if you can get good enough stuff to do everything by crafting, but if you want the best of the best, you want to min-max, you should have to farm for it, in my opinion. And I think for too many things in the game, crafting is just the easiest way to get the best thing. And I think that's very harmful. I want to kill cam so they can see me emoting in a wall before I pop out and shotgun. Cat cam's better than kill cam. I think my door is closed. When a defeated player has difficulty recognizing and reacting to how they were defeated, it creates a situation where it feels like there was nothing they could have done, making it hard to learn what to do better next time. It also places a strong focus on being the one to deliver as many of these types of unreadable kills as possible, while utilizing build crafting to avoid becoming the recipient. Then sandbox elements that do not benefit either of those paths fall out of favor. Additionally, while the average skill of players has crept up over the years, the weapon sandbox has not grown alongside of it. That is so true. For example, a much higher percentage of our players can hit optimal time to kills with SMGs, peak shoot with hand cannons, or blint, look it up with Wish Ender today, than they could several years ago. In large part, this is because a certain amount of forgiveness has been baked into many primary weapons to allow more players to utilize them at their full potential. For example, high reward weapons like persistent SMGs or aggressive hand cannons only requiring 67% critical hits to achieve optimal time to kill, and Wish Ender allowing you to follow up bow swap with a body shot from a hand cannon. This leniency allows players to make mistakes and still benefit from the full strength of the playstyle. That made sense when the average player's skill was lower, but in the current ecosystem, a far larger number of players can take advantage of those benefits. This is manifesting itself in multiple places, but it's most noticeable in the significant compression of the skill gap at high levels of play. Thank fucking fuck. Thank God they're recognizing this. Holy. Do you know how fucking annoying it is to bitch about skill-based matchmaking for so many years and have zero empathy or sympathy from the fucking devs? Holy shit. And it's just, I'm not even the fucking best player on earth, dog. I'm like barely that good. So it's fucking nice to hear them address that. That's all I'm saying. An additional byproduct is an increase in difficulty for new players finding their footing in the game, where many veteran players have near mastery of these existing playstyles, which increases the friction of refreshing the pool of players in Crucible. Finally, at high levels of play, things like high body shot damage, generous aim assist, primary weapon flinch, and low critical hit requirements all contribute to the feeling that putting in the time to improve your skill with primary weapons is generally just not the effort. With many meta primary weapons hitting optimal or near optimal time to kill is, with many primary weapons hitting optimal or near optimal time to kill is less representative of mastery of the weapon and is instead merely an expectation of standard play. Similarly, at lower levels of play, players can lose relatively quickly to an inaccurate opponent, which minimizes the time they have to figure out the sandbox and learn, often making them feel like they're playing higher skilled players than they. These symptoms are all generated by a handful of root causes, each generally linked to each other in a cycle of balance that encourages us to touch them all at once if we're making big changes, or in smaller increments if we are modifying things individually. All right, before I read that, let me catch up on chat. Holy. Just tell us which weapon did how much damage to me. Yeah, the new COD does that. It's really interesting. It was when I first started playing, it was like, it was a little too much, but now that I've gotten used to it, I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. When to buy a bunch of higher Kami cakes, this definitely kind of reads like that sort of mentality, right? How would you define the best or 5 out of 5 role though? Things that like would be heavily meta based. One perk, one season might be great, and a weapon change to a perk could drop its viability. I think it is incredibly easy to look at the suite of weapons that we have and immediately know the rocket launcher, the best weapon. When I say, all right, everyone, what's the best rocket launcher? 90% of people are going to say Apex Predator. When I say, all right, everybody, what's the best sword? 99% of people are going to either say Lament or other half, or bequest. 2 of which are craftable, the other is an exotic. When I say, all right, everybody, what's the best shotgun in the game? Almost everyone, depending on your playstyle, is going to say Heritage or Wastelander. For PvE specifically, Heritage or Wastelander or the fucking Cabal one. All craftable. You know what I mean? That's how you know. Just how it goes. When I say, all right, everyone, what's the best special weapon in the entire game? It's not even close. 100% of people are going to say Forbearance every single time. All these buffs, nerfs, no mention of Scarrow Cat. No mention of Scarrow's cat content. Fuck, I mixed those words and it did not come out well. These symptoms are I already read that. We have certain ability builds with either higher uptime or higher potency than we believe is healthy. To keep these builds in check, we provide near consistent availability of special ammo, which means there's always a surplus of one-shot kills weapons on the field. And to keep primary weapons competitive, we've made primary weapons highly lethal, fast killing, and generally also very forgiving. All that leads to a high percentage of deaths in our sandbox where, from the target's perspective, it feels like there's nothing that could have been done differently. Simply put, we have a risk versus reward problem. Over time, we push some of our sandbox elements to have high reward without offsetting them with the risk of punishing suboptimal play. Some elements take it a step further. Instead of just rewarding the attacker, they punish the target. To begin to address these issues, the following changes will be applied to the Crucible on March 5th. These are huge. These are some of the biggest changes we've seen to Crucible ever. No Scarrow OnlyFans. Not yet. Okay, we have 2 goals with the following increase to player health. Gives us far more granularity to balance our current and future sandbox elements and lets us decrease the relative lethality of multiple sandbox elements all at once and universally. So the player's health will be increased by 30 HP in Crucible. So players have 100 health now, up from 70, and 116 to 130 shield, depending on the player's resilience values. Now, I am a little nervous. One thing that, like, I don't know how this is going to feel. I can't think about that and immediately be like, oh, that's going to affect this and this and this. The thing that I am a little worried about is I think all of us have gotten really used to understanding where on the shield bar is like half health. You know what I mean? Like a quarter of the shield left is like half health. This is going to change that. So I'm a little like, okay, what's gonna go? You know, is this gonna change my gut reaction when I'm like, oh, that guy's definitely can be body shot? You know what I mean? I'm a little worried about that, but we'll see. Ability cooldowns. These values, combined with the changes to mod economy earlier in this season, will move us to a place where ability uptime is healthier for the Crucible. Melee, grenade, and ability cooldowns will have a 15% penalty applied to them in Crucible only. Super cooldowns now have a 20% penalty. So this is pretty much checkmate. They're making checkmate the norm. Now, they need to fucking change Trials of Osiris, and they're gonna talk about it next week. But if you're making your supers even more rare, your fastest charging supers cannot guarantee you a round win in the fucking Trials of Osiris. There's no way to counter a well or a bubble, especially if there's no fucking chance you're getting your super. So it's like, now more than ever, no one fucking likes Dominion, okay? They have to take it out, and even it's just worse. It's just even worse now. I have always hated Dominion, but the worst week of Trials I've had in so long was the first time they did Trials checkmate with Dominion. It's so bad. I don't know why they insist on capture the zone Dominion Trials. They need to stop. They need to get rid of it, or I'm gonna freak out. I've kind of already freaked out. Is the health pump only in PvP? Because it might be a little jarring between PvP and PvE. My understanding is that it is only in Crucible. Well, we did get a whole ass focus team. I assume things would get shaken up. Or do you think this is part of the strike team? I think this is still Chris Proctor's team. I don't think this is the Strike team yet. Because they specifically mentioned, we're going to get there, but they specifically mentioned that we're going to have updates from the Strike team next week. And a chance that's no special now for a Trials bubble pop. Yeah, it's exactly, man, they just need to fucking get rid of the zone. Ability damage. To account for increased player health and reduced uptime, we have made some general changes to melee and super damage. Make sure we maintain moment-to-moment muscle memory, and retain our current general rules of most supers killing in 1 shot and most melees killing in 2. Supers, increase base super damage by 31%. Melee, increase base damage, melee damage by 16. Grenades, arc flux. I like how that's the only one that got changed. Because I think arc flux is supposed to 1-shot. Primary weapon archetypes. To maintain the same optimal time to kill rates as the current SANDBOX with the new HP values, and to place an increased emphasis on precision, all primary weapons except for bows will have their critical damage increased. We will also reduce the flinch dealt by hand cannons, as they were a consistent outlier even compared to other high damage primary weapon types like scout rifles and bows. Look, this is a lot of number. This is number vomit. Until we play with this, there is absolutely no way I can look at this and be like, oh, that's great. That'll feel great. I have no idea. Okay? So what'll probably happen is March 5th. Is that an Iron Banner week? They told us when Iron Banner was next, last swab. Is it March 5th? No, it's not. Iron 2nd. April 2nd. Okay, on March 5th, we're probably just gonna have a long Crucible stream, just to see how this feels, because I have no other way. I'll have no other way to know until we do that. Special ammo acquisition, another huge change, pretty much bringing an updated version of the Checkmate special into Crucible. You'll start every game with 2 kills worth of special ammo. And instead of 2 kills worth of special ammo being granted to you every time you respawn, you will earn more ammo by filling up the special ammo meter, just like in Checkmate, with points given for kills, assists, and completing objectives. Getting 100 points grants you 2 kills worth of special ammo. So you need 5 kills. You need, fucking hell, 9, 10, 8. You need 8 zone captures, 7. Yeah, 8. Heavy ammo gives you stuff. Oh, that's just in base point. Okay, well, once again, they're reducing the amount of special ammo drastically. So the whole point of all of this is they're increasing your health, and they're keeping your primary weapons just as effective by buffing them, while not buffing abilities and making special ammo harder to get. So they're really, really, really trying to get the whole focus to be way more on primary weapons. It'll probably be like 65%, 60% primary weapons, maybe like 50% primary weapons, 25 ability, 25 special, somewhere in there. Seems to be kind of what they're going for. I'm interested about it. They say anything about ammo pickup for heavy GLs just being absolute dog? They do mention GLs in Crucible. We'll see. So they're changing stuff. General notes: kills from special ammo weapons and heavy weapons do not grant points towards special ammo. I don't know if I like that. I think they should grant reduced points. Jumping out the map will subtract progress from the special ammo meter. That's brutal. Ammo is not dropped on death, and you will not lose special ammo you have earned when you're defeated or revived. Earned special ammo will carry over between rounds. Swapping from double primary to a special weapon will reset your special ammo meter progress. Pretty much all Checkmate rules. Special weapon archetypes. They're increasing the base damage of trace rifles, shotguns, fusion rifles by 20%. Glaives, projectiles are being increased by 20%. Melee damage increased by 16%. Increased reserve stat should increase that, I believe. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Heavy ammos. GLs are too powerful, so they're reducing detonation damage by 5%, and they're buffing base damage of machine guns by 20%. once again, it's hard for me to say. Like, I feel like a 5% change in GL damage won't make that big of a difference. I could be wrong. I have to play with it. I don't know. Feels like it won't be that big of a difference. Exotic weapons. I'm excited about this. Fighting Lion got a 20% nerf against players in Crucible. Devil's Ruin got a 15% nerf with the charge beam against Crucible enemies. Crimson flinches you less. Forerunner got a 20% buff, which I don't know if Forerunner needed that, but okay. That might just be to keep it a consistent 3-tap kill, because maybe with the increased player health, it was no longer a 3-tap kill. I don't know how much damage it was. Symmetry increased revolution damage against Crucible by 16%. Lots of changes, Chinese or Lunar New Year stuff, which is cool. Dead Cliffs is the map of this weekend. If you guys don't, I'm sure everyone in here does, but just in case, everything is so cheap for Destiny right now. You can get everything ever released for Destiny that's currently in the game for $40. Insane. Maybe not everything ever released. I don't think that includes Duality and Spire the Watcher. So I think you can get everything ever released that's still in the game, with the exception of those 2 dungeons, for $40, which is crazy. So if you have friends that have been struggling to get into the game or haven't wanted to spend a lot of money, please tell them about this. I think it's only for a couple of weeks or days. It's until the 27th. 2 more weeks. Crazy. And proceeds support the Bungie Foundation. Minus the Witch Queen dungeon key. Yeah. So they say here, and that's it for the TWID this week. We're hoping the sandbox changes we shared today have you hyped for what's to come. Have you been... wait. No, they said something about the strike team. I missed a sentence somewhere. Strike. What? Missed a sentence. Yes, sorry. That's a lot to cover, and there's even more coming next week with the PvP strike team, including info on new rewards, game modes, matchmaking details, spawn tuning changes, trials updates, and more. I think next week's gonna be a fucking baller twab. I'm really excited about it. I think all of those things that they listed right there are in dire need of help in Crucible, and I'm excited to see the changes that the strike team has been cooking up. I mean, because look, the reality is they've been hyping up the strike team for quite a while now, and most of us have no idea what they're doing other than the PvP map. So this is really their time to shine and be like, look, these are the changes we're making. And I hope it's awesome. I'm excited. So we'll see. I think overall, like, there's some changes in there that I'm a little iffy about and I'll have to play and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, a really powerful set of changes that you know, I think are going to shake up the PvE sandbox a little bit. Definitely shake up Crucible. I'm really excited to see what that looks like live in game, because it's hard to get an idea for what that stuff feels like without playing it, but it seems really interesting. Probably no run tonight. I'm pretty beat, but I do want to do I need to do the wish quest. How many? Yes, Lab. I mean, it was over a year ago. How many wish quests are there? Did they say 7? Is there 7 wish quests? Something like that? I wouldn't expect just a PvP twab next week, but it'll probably be very heavily PvP focused. Six, okay. But yeah, I mean, Lightfall was, I can't believe it was a year ago. That's crazy. Not quite a year, actually. It was the 22nd, right? 24th, 27th? 28th. So almost a year, not quite a year, but I still can't believe it's been a year. Defeat combatants in Legendary or Oh, come on, that's fucking easy. Let's go. Oh, and it's chamber. Come on. Let's go. This is a fucking baller. Oh. Yeah, bro. You watch Invincible? Yes. Is it confirmed to be coming back? Do we know when the second half of the season or whatever is coming out? 2 to 3 runs? That's not bad at all, man. What are you doing, Legend or Master? Oh, sorry. And what I meant to say is no Root of Nightmares stuff tonight because I'm pretty beat. I'm pretty tired. But Victoria's going out of town on Saturday. She's going to visit her parents. Or on Sunday? She's going out of town on Sunday. So I would expect at least a run stream, a pretty long one on Sunday. Maybe Saturday as well, we'll see. But I was getting the explicator damage super consistently. If I can figure out what I'm doing wrong with damage and perfect that, then I think we're fucking cooking. I do not expect explicator to take me that long. I feel like I've caught on to it really fast. And I don't know if that's just because like all the methods have been refined or whatever, but I'm feeling really good about it. March 14th, they dropped trailer. Let's go. No, I didn't switch anything. I just got good. I just got good. And I like, there was a run, I made the like 4 or 5 damage phases in a row. Like I just wouldn't do enough damage, but, and I'd wipe for some reason or another. Oh, fuck. Took that off. If I do solo, want me to put that. I feel like I really won't survive without a rift for damage. Survivability was not an issue at all. In damage phase, it was. I was missing a plate every time. It was ending a plate early. And I don't really know why. I never figured it out. Like, I think we just weren't, I wasn't doing enough damage. But, just like, it visually, it looked like I did enough damage. But I just think I wasn't doing enough damage. So I gotta find out what about my rotation was wrong. Wait, why would I take off solo? I'm so stupid. Wait. I'm actually so dumb. What the fuck am I doing? Why would I take off solo? I'm still solo. Just take off one of the other mods, idiot. I'm so dumb. Where's the update? April's Fool memes and Desi are gonna be great. I don't even know what you mean. So, Lab, are you gonna be going for solo flawless, bro? I'll race you. Eventually, dude, you gotta do it this season. We have like 8 years, dude. It'll end faster than you think, man. I actually feel like the last month or two have just absolutely flown for me personally. Go False Vlogwen. I will not be doing that. I do not enjoy spending time in Vault of Glass, and there is absolutely 0% chance I'm spending 10 minutes a time farming for ammo on gatekeepers. That's just not happening. I legitimately do not like Vault of Glass, and I will not be subjecting myself to that. Well, I might actually be using my restoration. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. He has an overload. I don't have overload. Bruh. Wait, fuck this guy. What am I doing? Who needs overload? Not me. Think there will be a Guardian Games memento? I hope so. I love the idea of limited mementos. I just hope, like, I know it in my bones, dude. They're gonna make 4. They're gonna make one of each, and then they're never gonna do anything with them again. Then next year there won't be anything new. There will be one new gun, and it's like, come earn the old memento. Let's go. And it's just, gotta keep going, man. Gotta keep going. Gotta keep making new stuff. I would love for a new memento every single year. I don't even care if they sunset the old one. I know people would be mad if they did, but I don't care. I play the game. I get my cookies. I earned my memento. Olympic colors would be cool. That would be really cool. Like moving Guardian Game symbols. Excuse me. That would be awesome. Bye. But yeah, I think they could really easily do one, and for Solstice too. Like, come on. Think about a Solstice memento that makes your gun like pulse with light or whatever. Like, fuck. So easily do something like easily as in like it's easy to conceptualize. Yeah, they have. They've at least announced a general time frame for Guardian Games. I don't remember if they said an actual date. But I think they said April or May. Is that right? It'll probably be 3 weeks before the season ends, or 4 weeks maybe if they want to give it a week or two for an epilogue. Oh, are you serious? Nice. They said March? Really? That feels fast. But I'll take it, man. I need content. Oh, yes, because I guess Into the Light. Yeah, right. That kind of makes sense. Oh my god, that was so fast. I didn't even have to clear 2. Man, I wish these wishes were... I know they didn't have a lot of time to do it, man. I know. But god, I wish they were a little more substantial. Just something. It is what it is. It gives me more time to do solo run, I guess. Nah, I gotta use Sunshot, man. The truth is, I already had this on. Oh my god. Oh! I just got ran. I just got fucking ran. Oh my god. Okay, fuck this guy. I just need, I already completed it. I don't need this in my life, okay? I don't have overrule it on. Fuck this guy. I'm losing the 1v1, bro. Alright, let's go see what Mara's got for me. What do we pick up this week? Probably another Matt or let's see. Yeah. But yeah, probably no. Victoria and I are doing Valentine's Day tomorrow, so no stream tomorrow. And like I said, I'll definitely be doing a super long Ron stream on Sunday. Potentially a stream on Saturday as well. I feel like I really gotta kick myself in the gear and start doing this Ron thing. I gotta take it a little seriously. I want to get out of the way. I definitely just don't want it to be a thing that I'm fucking freaked out because I wait until like the very last day to do it. I've had 2 challenges where I've had to run and do it real quickly, and god, that always stresses me the shit out. Yeah, we're gonna try to be a little bit more proactive about this one. Hello, friend. Wait, do I spend it here? Alrighty. Alright, everyone. Well, that's what I'm gonna call it for today. We'll have Ron stuff, and I'm gonna start picking up videos. I have a lot of ideas for videos I want to make, and I've been kind of neglecting it recently, and I'm feeling like re-energized and recreative. So I do really want to pick that stuff up. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you very soon. Yeah, peace out, everyone. See ya.